Good evening.
Welcome.
Hi. What's up? How's your week been?
It's been all right. I mean, I got away from paradise, come back to the working life, so about as good as I can. But the weekend was good. We got to go up to the cabin, go to a race, just unplug, chill, hang out.
I mean, we're all working for the weekend anyway, right?
Everybody's working for the weekend. Except I don't work on weekends.
Neither do I.
All right, let's hop into this.
What?
Back to the album segment.
What?
We're going to do the album segment.
What?
What?
I thought that was over.
No. This is the last week for it.
We're really going to do this?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's do it.
2021. We have no honorable mentions because we're getting into years that are a bit dark. No one's doing anything.
Hey, music. Do better.
So for the top four, well, the only four, we have Morgan Wallen, the Dangerous Double album. I mean, come on, baby.
So, most of it he didn't actually write, but he recorded it all.
Yeah, this is a banger of an album. Incredible stuff. We have Scion, self-titled. Have you ever heard of Scion?
I mean, a friend of mine had a TC in high school.
So Scion is
the cheap end
it's
of Toyota?
Jared. Have you ever seen Jared Dines on YouTube?
Yes.
It's him. I think he probably got studio musicians to do the drums. I'm not sure on that. It wouldn't surprise me if he did the drums. And Howard Jones from Killswitch Engage. It is some sick music. Then we've got Knocked Loose, A Tear in the Fabric of Life. I mean, it's knocked loose. It's heavy as balls, as all Knocked Loose albums are. And we've got your guilty pleasure, Andy. Olivia Rodrigo, Sour.
I added this for my daughter because she loved this album when she came out. I do enjoy it. Mostly because of the documentary. I found it really interesting how Olivia wrote this album and recorded it.
Is this the girl that has that driver's license song?
Yeah, that's on this album.
That's the only song I know.
Plus, her drummer is a chick, and she plays Ludwig, so she's cool in my book. Yeah, I mean, the album really front to back, there are a lot of really good songs. There was a lot of press about this album because of Olivia's relationship with Taylor Swift and how, we'll say, influential Taylor was for this album. I'm pretty sure this is the one that Taylor actually gets royalties on. But if you're into pop or you're just looking for something new, it's worth a listen.
So we have quite a selection here.
Dude, you can go from getting punched in the mouth in the pit to hanging out at an arena to getting podunk. So.
Yeah. So this just shows how vast our musical tastes go. Which one are you picking? I think I know which one you're picking.
You know which one I'm picking.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I think that's the one you're picking,
It's
too.
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen killed it with Dangerous.
Yeah.
Everything since then hasn't been quite that. He's had some good songs, Last Night was great.
That album's a good album, too. One Thing at a Time, yeah.
It's all right, but it's not Dangerous. I
mean, yeah.
Sand in My Boots, More Surprised Than Me, which actually Nico Moon, I believe, was the contributing writer on that. What else was on Dangerous?
It had The Way I Talk.
Way I Talk, Wasted on You.
I mean, all the hits.
It's
all the hits.
He doubled down and then went all the way through it. So
yeah.
You can't say no to that.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen killed it with this album.
Chairs or not.
And whoever says otherwise is just jealous of Morgan Wallen.
You know anybody else plays disc golf with a chair and a couple cops?
Disc golf.
4 years in state.
So 2022, there's no honorable mentions here either.
No honor.
There's the top 4. It's Aaron Lewis, Frayed at Both Ends. Again, Aaron Lewis is in here. Dude, this album is so good. So good.
You know, we brought up OnlyFans last week. I'm just going to say it now. If you ever meet Aaron Lewis, I get the feeling you're going to have an OnlyFans.
Dude, Aaron Lewis, Frayed at Both Ends. This album is such a banger.
I liked that one.
Especially if you like just slow like country music. It's top notch. Then we've got Andy's pick again, Taylor Swift Midnights. I don't know this album at all, but apparently we've got a little Swiftie over here.
Dude, it was good. Like, I mean, it wasn't like 1989 good, and granted, neither of those were like first album good.
I mean, it's hard to beat like early Taylor Swift.
Dude, Teardrops on My Guitar is probably going to be her best song forever. I mean, like 22 and I Knew You Were Trouble. Those are all right.
That's
but
when she started to peter off from when she started to go into like the pop.
I'm glad you changed that word after
pop
that
genre.
The first sentence.
It's like,
Yeah. I mean, you can't. She's the queen.
She is the queen of pop. I will give her
and
that.
She's awesome. Like, people hate on her, but for what?
We've got Zach Bryan, American Heartbreak.
34 songs.
This album has 34 songs on it. Hey, Zach Bryan, that's too many. Just cut it in half and release like another album down the road. Your work's already done. You don't have to do anymore.
An American Wild, our live set was usually 39 to 42 songs, and that was for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, 34 songs is way too much to put on an album. I like Zach Bryan, I do, but I don't think I can listen to him front to back, especially an album with 34 songs, because they all just like kind of run together. It's like you have the like folky style like banjo, you've got the mandolin, you've got the harmonica, you've got the acoustic, and his voice is really unique in like the way that he sings. He has like this weird little like vibrato that comes in like when he's like dragging out these notes. It's definitely a Zach Bryan sound, but it's definitely not my pick.
So is he related to Luke Bryan?
I don't think so. I hope not. And then the last one on the top 4 is LS Dunes. This is a super group made up of Anthony Green, the guitar player from My Chemical Romance, the guitar player from Thursday,
Frankie Iero,
and
Tucker.
The
the
drummer from Thursday, the guitar player or the bass player from Coheed, and 2 guys from Thursday. I think the drummer's from Coheed. I could be wrong.
No, the drummer's from Thursday, Tucker Rule.
Okay,
I know because that's why I don't listen to him.
Yeah. So they have like this super group from like the emo scene, and it is solid music. It's, I mean, if Seyo Sin, Circus Survive, and Thursday had a baby, basically, it's.
Well, you forgot MCR.
Well, it's definitely not MCR. Well, maybe early MCR influenced, but it's good. It is really, really good.
You mean like the really early stuff? Oh God, my dad's watching. Turn it off. To this day, I would still marry Taylor Swift if given the opportunity, so that hasn't changed.
That's the best thing. That's the best first message in the chat I think I've ever seen. So my pick here is...
Hold up. Who wouldn't marry Taylor Swift? I mean, obviously not you. You're married, but even still, like...
I mean, money-wise?
Yeah, we know it's one viewer, asshole.
This is our first live stream. Give us a break. My pick's Aaron Lewis, definitely. Not even close. I
can't say it.
Your pick is Taylor Swift.
Dude, Midnight's was good.
Oh boy, Andy, what have you become? 2023, we have some honorable mentions finally. We'll start with those. We have Logic College Park. This is the album after I think he was off his label and he like retired, and then he put this out like as like a passion. So it kind of gives him that freedom to kind of do what he wants. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's a banger, but it's definitely good, and there's some really good songs off of it. So College Park is good enough for an honorable mention. We've got another one of Andy's little hidden secrets here. Marshmallow, is that Sugar Poppy?
Yes, sir.
That is a terrible album name.
Hi, puppy.
This is a terrible album name. I don't know what to say about that because this is not my genre of music at all.
It's a total departure from it's not a total departure from Marshmello, but it's not what you would expect. This album is exclusively Latino, which is an interesting twist on it.
Like, what do you mean by
it's
Latino?
all. I listened to it last night, and I'm fairly confident that all of the songs are in Spanish.
Interesting.
So
he's
he
not
took
Spanish.
No, so nobody really knows who Marshmello is.
Well, no, that's
Deadmau5.
Yeah, that's the guy.
So everybody is pretty sure that Marshmello is actually a guy named Christopher Comstock, who started out as a DJ named .com.
That's kind of a cool DJ name, I'm not going to lie.
He's from Philly.
Okay.
So that's neat. But he's never revealed who his identity, because he's always wearing the Marshmello mask whenever he's out.
There's a guy that trick-or-treats by my wife's grandparents' house. And
By guy, you mean boy?
No, there's a guy, like a full-grown guy.
Like he's...
I guess he takes his kids trick-or-treat, or he just walks around the neighborhood, but he has like a Marshmello helmet that's like legit, like lights up
and
LED
everything?
screen and stuff. And Lydia got a picture with him because she just loved his helmet. This was, I think, 2 years ago, but she loved it. It was crazy. Your sound is lower than the other videos. We are live, so we might need to
Bump it up.
bump up the gain.
Yeah, I really like Marshmello because I feel like he leverages his anonymity to make statements in a way. He did that single "Be Kind" with it was a collaboration with, who was it? It wasn't Halsey on that. What was it? Halsey? I think Halsey might have been on that one. But like he really supports the whole mental health movement and things like that. So I think that's important.
All right. So we have Gideon, More Power, More Pain. Oh, my goodness. This album is just Gideon releasing bangers yet again. Just solid stuff. It's, like, lyrically, I think it's some of their best stuff that they've ever put out. Because it just hits. It just strikes a nerve. It strikes a chord. And
What?
That's it for the
Did you
honorable
just say
mentions
that?
there. What?
You said it strikes a chord.
Yeah, it strikes a chord. Is that a problem, Andy? The top four,
How you gonna go put my pick in the damn honorable mentions?
because dude, look at the top four. Come on.
The one Zach Bryan's spoiler alert: Zach Bryan's self-titled doesn't belong there.
This is a much smaller album, and it's definitely got more songs that I like, and his songs definitely stand out more. They're not like kind of running together. They're definitely like more different styles. He's got the slow stuff, he's got the folky stuff, he's got the country based stuff. It's definitely better, and it's not 34 freaking songs. So there's that. The next one, Story of the Year, Tear Me to Pieces. This is Story of the Year back to their true form. 100% back to their true form. I will fight you right now.
Bro, Phil's still trying to play the part of two guitars with one.
Phil's out of the band. Ryan's
I'm sorry.
the guitar player.
I'm sorry. Ryan.
Dude, it's 100% like back to Story of the Year in its true form. They are writing music that they enjoy writing. It rips. It's riffy. It's Story of the Year, how Story of the Year should be. And the lyrical content in these songs, oh my gosh. That song, the song Tear Me to Pieces that the album's named after, dude, that song couldn't have come out at a better time.
Okay, granted, the album, maybe, if he did like 4 guitar tracks instead of 2 or something like that.
You're focusing on the live aspect of it.
Right, because if you can't play it live, don't record it. If you can't play it live, don't record it. I mean it.
I will strangle you
like,
with
there's
a mic cord.
Like, people out there just like, the drummer's like, I can't fucking play it. And then he's like, oh, well, we could, record it slower and then speed it up. Oh, you can do that? Yeah, let's do that. And then when they play it live, it's 20 freaking BPM slower, and it's like,
it's good, and I will die on that hill.
They need another axe.
Stop.
It's good. They need another axe.
Yeah, you're about to get an axe. Then we've got Morgan
Axe body spray.
Morgan Wallen, One Thing at a Time. Again, Morgan Wallen releasing them heaters. This is a solid album.
Not as good as the one above it.
Definitely not. It's hard to beat the one above it. It is hard to beat the one above it.
I think it was good. It wasn't great, but
dude. And then we've got Hardy, The Mockingbird, and The Crow. You want to talk about perfection from beginning to end? Not only just banger music, banger songs. The way that this dude writes his music blows my mind.
So, it was a good album. I still think I like A Rock better. And also, I specifically did not text this to you earlier in the week when I thought of it because I wanted to talk about it here now. So we're going to do this hot take quick.
Oh, God.
Have you heard his latest single?
No, what's the Rockstar? Is that the one?
No, the Truck Bed?
That's on this album.
Right, but he did it with Nickelback.
Yeah. It's actually good, and I hate that I say that.
Okay, it is good. Have you seen him perform it live with Nickelback?
Yeah, I see that performance I didn't think was terrible.
Well,
however,
part?
Both of their parts. However, I saw when I think it was the Country Music Awards when him and Morgan Wallen and Post Malone performed the Joe Diffie song. Why can I think of the name?
Because you're not really podunk.
Why can't I think of the name? It's a Joe Diffie song. It's like one of his biggest songs. Because they all did a cover of that song.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it now. I don't remember which song it was.
Dude,
but
his part that he performed was really not great.
So here's the
and neither was Morgan Wallen's. I think Morgan Wallen's was even worse. Here's
the hot take: if Chad Kroeger is on stage doing his thing, Hardy should probably get off of it because you see Hardy singing. And then Chad just steps up to the mic, and it's like, all right, step aside for the legend. And I don't even like Nickelback that much anymore.
I hate Nickelback,
but he's, dude, he has his thing down.
Yeah.
And Hardy...
He has that thing down. Hardy, I think he's much better as a songwriter and not a live performer. He puts on a hell of a show from what I've seen. I can't deny that. But his vocals live, it's very hit or miss. I saw his performance he did with Lainey Wilson when they performed Get in the Truck. I think that was at the Country Music Awards. He was on point with that. Their harmonies were perfect.
Was that Lainey?
Yeah. Yep.
I thought Lainey did the other one, the One Beer.
No.
Somebody else did One Beer.
Other,
yeah, Lainey did. You're right.
Dude, back to his songwriting, like looking at the song Wait in the Truck, you could not write a song about that subject matter any better than the way he wrote it. Just driving down the road, picking up this girl that he sees on the side of the road, and it's raining, she's walking, she gets in the truck, he notices that, you know, she's got bruises and cuts on her. He doesn't ask her a bunch of questions. He knows exactly what happened. He goes, you know, where does he live? They go to his house. He kicks in the door, does what needs to be done, sits down, grabs the dude's cigarette, smokes it, waits for the cops to come, goes to jail for the reason she comes to visit him. Dude, it's written so well.
You know what the problem is? Now that that's out there and people are figuring it out, it's going to be everywhere. That formula
song is everywhere.
No, not just that song, but that formula for a song, that method of writing.
I think that just comes with, because like Morgan Wallen has that in his songs too. Granted, Hardy wrote some of their songs, but even his new album that I don't know if Morgan or if Hardy had anything to do with that, but with Hardy, the beer song, he wrote the song about beer, but it's from the perspective of the beer. As your friend, like, hey, we've had some good times. Remember when we just like caused mayhem, and I gave you the nerve to talk to that girl and this and that. Like, it's very interesting to listen to like these typical like country songs that, you know, it's about, you know, getting drunk, or it's about driving your truck, or it's about, you know, rescuing the girl or falling in love. But he writes it from the flip side of the typical songwriter's perspective, which I find incredibly interesting. My pick is this album, 100%.
Oh yeah, Hardy wins.
The amount of times that I've listened to this album is ridiculous. I think my entire recap for my music listening for last year, for 2023, was literally just all Hardy.
I almost want to mute the audio so I can listen to that clip right now, but yeah, he just kills it, man. I mean,
this album just,
like, writing wise,
and like the crossing over of the genres too, where he's got like a country song.
Why'd you go there? Then
he's got like a more like edgy, like rock influenced part there, where it's like 30-06 or Sold Out. Like,
Sold Out probably shouldn't have been a thing.
What? Excuse me?
It's pretty cliche.
That song's a ripper, dude. It's funny because when that song comes on in the car and like the beginning comes and it's all the crowd like, Hardy, Hardy, you hear Lydia in the back just, Hardy, Hardy.
Oh. That's cute.
She loves Morgan Wallen and she loves Hardy, and she always has to ask like, who's this? We have to be like, it's Morgan Wallen. That's one of her favorites. But yeah, Hardy killed it with this album. It's definitely the pick. Story of the year, it's close because that album is absolutely incredible, and some of those songs hit me at a time where I really needed to hear it.
Grab me a guitar.
But Hardy just...
Grab me that guitar.
What?
Give me that guitar so I can give it to them.
No. And we can't do 2024 because it's not the end of 2024 yet. But we do have... I have 3 albums that I like so far from 2024. And it's Joyner Lucas, Not Now, I'm Busy. This dude is fire. You listen to much Joyner Lucas over there, Andy?
A little bit.
Dude, he's coming hard with it. And this album, he's killing it. It's good. It's really, really good. We've got Corey Wells, Harboring the Hurt I've Caused. This dude, I don't know how he can continue after this, really, because all of his songs are pretty much like breakup songs. You can only have that happen so much. But it's good. I like his music. It rips. It's good, but you can only write that song so many times before everyone's like, I think we've heard this before.
I mean, Prince got away with it how many times?
I guess that's true. And then a surprise one that I just found out today, Alien Ant Farm, Mantras. This band, I didn't even know they were putting out music still.
Wow!
But, dude, this dude's voice has not changed a single bit. It is the exact same as Anthology from, like, the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it.
It's literally the exact same. It's wild, but they're killing it. I really enjoyed the album from what I've heard. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to enough to be like, okay. Because let's face it, now that we're in 2024, not many people are writing good music anymore.
Yeah.
It's a rarity nowadays.
Yeah.
But that'll close out the album segment, Andy.
Done and dusted.
What are we gonna do
Finally.
next? Maybe we'll have a little segment where we reflect on our choices and
LJ.
what?
Spell me.
Emmy.
You forgot the D.
What?
You forgot the D.
MED.
That's not how you spell me.
I don't know where you're going with that.
You were supposed to say there's no D in me.
I see.
To which the guy over there in the corner would be like, not yet, there ain't. Probably ask him to leave now.
All right. So next topic, Andy. We'll jump into this. It's been on our notes for like the past 3 weeks, and we haven't touched it. Console in the cloud. Pay as you play. When is it coming? Is it going to come?
I don't see why you don't do it. I mean, you think about Sony, you think about Nintendo. So much money. And the sky is the limit now. With all of, like, you've got Azure, you've got AWS, you've got Google Cloud, you've got so many cloud providers to where you can just stand up these services. And granted, I don't even think that a company like Sony or Nintendo would even leverage one of those. I think they'd probably build their own cloud services. But the concept being that you access this through a device on your network, not necessarily with a TV, or maybe it is with a TV. Maybe it's a controller and a fob that you just clip into the HDMI piece of the TV.
Yeah.
And then it works
like a Chromecast.
It works off of the network, so the actual processing is done, in the cloud. So it's basically PS5, except there's no PS5.
You eliminate the console.
Right. And all you need is the peripheral and the display.
So, they've done it before. They have, I think Amazon has one. I forget what it's called. And then Google had one that was the Google Stadia, where it was literally like a Chromecast you plug in the TV, and it had like a controller. I have it somewhere around here because they gave it free to like YouTube Plus or YouTube Premium members.
Right.
It closed because it didn't do well.
Yeah, and I think that's because Google doesn't know shit about making video games. I mean, they're a powerhouse, but I don't think they have the same leverage that Sony would have in that aspect as far as getting publishers or getting, these software companies to develop for that platform. And if they were smart about it, they would structure it so you could basically just lift your code right out of whatever PS5 game you're developing at the time, deploy it, and people can play that. But then you have, why am I going to buy a PS5 if I can do this?
Well, I think that's going to be the next milestone in like the gaming realm is finding a way to eliminate the console of like having the cost, because when you're getting a PS5, they're not making much money off of the PS5 when it comes down to brass tacks. It's still a cost, and you have to have the price, and then eventually you have these price drops and stuff. Like, your money isn't coming from selling the PS5s. And if you can eliminate that cost altogether and just deliver these games from where you are in the world to where your customers are, that would be ideal for the gaming market. And I don't know how close they are to doing that, to just eliminating the consoles altogether.
Well, and that's an interesting thing, and I'm trying to see if I can find a production estimate for PS5 because I'm curious. But, when you think about console in the cloud, cloud-based services are, a realization of software as a service, like Pro Tools. Pro Tools used to be able to pay $800 one time. You could use it however long. Now it's $30 or $40 a month.
And same with the Adobe stuff too. Is you used to be able to buy it and you get the key and you'd have the rights to use it for however long you needed to use it. But now it's a subscription. Everything is moving to those subscription services, no matter what it is.
And here's the thing: I had my copy of Pro Tools Empowered 8. Way long ago.
I
paid $100 for it.
I had it through school.
Yeah. So I paid $100 for it. I used it for 8 years. Over 8 years, the total cost for that for me was $100.
Mm-hmm.
Today, to get the basic Pro Tools, aside from the free version, which if you use the free version, I invite you to try the lowest tier paid version because you could probably save what you spend in Excedrin just by that little bump.
Yeah.
But that's $15. $15 extrapolated over 8 years. 8 years is what? 80, 96 months. So we'll just round it up to 100 for figuring it out. $1,500 for Pro Tools Empowered.
Yeah.
Compared to 100. The company stands to just blow away margins.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at here is console in the cloud. You're going to be paying monthly or maybe even more granular than that for using it. You never truly own it. So in theory, the same thing that a PS5 does for $450 might actually net Sony $1,500. And on top of that, they don't have to pay to produce that because up front they're paying to make these things.
Yeah.
They're not making them and then saying, "Oh, here, we'll figure it out."
Yeah. I think if I'm remembering correctly from when the PS5 first came out, they were when numbers started coming out, they were actually losing money on production of PS5 or maybe I'm thinking of when the PS3 came out. It was one of the consoles. I don't know if it was new or from PS3 era, because they had this price that they needed to sell it for, but the Microsoft had the 360 and they were like, no, and PS3 had to roll that back, and then they just took a huge hit. But the PS3 did eventually gain its ground and became a mainstay in everybody's household.
So because PS5 debuted COVID-ish,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the scarcity of components drove the production cost up beyond their original estimates
that makes sense.
to $450,
Okay.
roughly.
Yeah.
Meaning, at the time, they're saying it was at a loss. I digress. I'm pretty sure the initial PS5s were $550, so where did that $100 go in your loss?
Well, you have to factor in all of the labor costs to manufacture it and then to ship it and all of that stuff. When you put all of that into it, yeah, you're definitely losing money.
Never mind, it goes on. So the manufacturing costs include the labor and whatnot. The issue, they said they would break even on the $499 PS5, but the $399 digital version was where they were losing money.
That's weird.
Well, yeah, because the digital version doesn't have an optical drive. So you don't need that component.
Yeah.
You would think it would be a little cheaper, but I guess, when they do them, it didn't balance out that much. Either way.
We're there.
And I think that's an iteration thing. I think that if they do it, it's going to be the next generation. Like, they're like, oh, next console, PS6, isn't really a thing. We're doing this.
Yeah, that's tough because, I mean, I've streamed on the PS5 like a PS3 game or a PS4 game, like where it doesn't have the option to download it. You have to like stream it. It's the worst.
I'm glad you went there because that is the biggest hurdle, is bandwidth. Getting that much data from point A to point B where it's consumable. Because you think about, like, you know, video games and response time on the controller, and
Yeah.
if I only have a controller and it's processing, you know, in a bunker 300 miles underneath the mountains in Northern Virginia, because that's where they hide stuff, that takes time. Like, electricity has to transfer, data has to transfer. It's not instant. So,
Yeah. What's going on, Mort? Thanks for joining us here.
hey, Mort.
Yeah, like I think we've got a long way to go before they eliminate the console, and it's like the streaming games actually kind of makes it into like the mainstream, because like it's not, you have to, even if they could shrink it somehow, if they could shrink it down to basically it's basically buying a hard drive that has internet capabilities where you can access an interface to download these games to store on this drive to then like play. It would be a lot better. Like the PlayStation Portal, for example. Like,
I was about to go there.
like the PlayStation Portal is this device that streams from your PS5 to your handheld device.
And it can do it over Wi-Fi or cellular?
I'm not sure. I know it. I think your PS5 has to be through Wi-Fi, and I think you can be away from your house and be connected to another Wi-Fi and be able to access your PS5 to play these games. I think. I could be wrong.
So we'll look into that, but that right there is exactly why I don't think this is that far away. Because it's the same exact thing, except instead of the cloud being a server farm somewhere, it's everybody's own personal PS5.
So everybody's gripe with the Portal, from what I've seen, is they wish there was an option to a way to download and store at least one game.
Like a Steam Deck?
Like, it doesn't have to be as big of hard drive space for storage. Just let me access these games, even if I can access like PlayStation Plus games, and download them so I can take that device wherever I need to be, and I can play it without these interruptions, having to be connected to Wi-Fi, etc.
And there's that, you know, bandwidth issue we talked about, the streaming problem.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're still trying to figure this out.
So do you have the Xfinity router?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's on Wi-Fi, not on wired?
No, we can wire it if we have to.
Where's the router?
Upstairs. I have an Ethernet cable that's capable of reaching that far.
We'll figure it out. As long as you have the router, I can make it work.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll get this squared away. This is our first time. There's bound to be some issues.
Yeah, this is fun.
But yeah, like back to like the streaming and stuff with the PlayStation Portal. Like the PlayStation Portal is an excellent idea because it, at least to me, because it caters to an issue that I have as a dad, as somebody who can't go down or doesn't even want to go down to their game room every night. Like, sometimes I just want to lay on my couch.
Well, you're assuming everybody has a damn game room in their basement.
Well, their space, whatever it is. Me, I have my game room. Hey, it's just like a video game loading. Yeah, it's just like, you know, having a little space to play, whatever. But with the PlayStation Portal, I can just have that up there, and I can access the things down here, and I can play. And then like with the Steam Deck, which I think caters to me a little bit more because I do have a Steam library of games that I could play, and it stores them on the device. And it's more like if I wanted to take it, up to the cabin with me one time and be able to play, I barely get cell service up there, let alone streaming capabilities. Nor would I want streaming capabilities up there. That just takes away from the experience. I wouldn't want internet or streaming up there. We have a big cabinet of movies that we can pick from that just it's just better.
You got 2 cabinets.
I think they got rid of all those movies. But I think we're further away than you think to the thing. Now, the pay-as-you...
So how far you think we're away? Let's just figure it out. I think we're probably 5 to 6 years.
That would be my guess, is like 5 to 6 years before they could have something like that.
So I wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll find out in 5 or 6 years, but...
Yeah. Which... How long has the PS5 been out?
Not long enough. I mean, I still don't have one, so...
When did it come? It came out during
2020.
Was it 2020 or was it 2021?
I think it was Christmas 2020.
So if that came out,
well, I don't know.
Oh, hey,
it's not that hard to figure it out.
The wife is upstairs watching.
Oh God.
I think it's either 2020 or 2021.
Hey.
And I agree with your dad. Why would you want cell service at a cabin?
Why would you want cell service? So I can stream movies and don't have to cart around bunches of DVDs.
You don't have to cart them around. They're up there. They stay there. You just pick them.
If I own the cabin.
You know somebody that owns the cabin.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yep, November 12th, 2020.
So 2020. So it's been out for 4 years.
2 points for me.
So
4
how
years.
long?
Not even yet.
So how long was the PS4 was out for what, like 10 years before the PS4 came out or the PS5 came out?
Well, I don't know, but a trending search on Google is PS6 release date. So
that's always a trending topic.
PS4 came out November 15th, 2013. It's a 7-year cycle.
So a 7-year cycle. I think the PS3 and Xbox 360. I think that life cycle was the longest.
No. They came out in 2006 with a 7-year cycle.
Interesting. So
3 more years. It might. That's a dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how that pans out. PS6 is.
What do they say? Well, this is gonna be like FU.
Well, I think the Nintendo Switch. They're talking about the next Nintendo Switch already.
Sony is expected to release the PlayStation 6 in 2028. Some say it will likely launch in 2026 or 2027.
Yikes.
7 years.
Yeah.
What about the Switch?
There've been a lot of talks about.
No, don't do it again.
The Switch too.
Don't do it again.
Don't do what again?
The Switch. The Switch 2 is literally just going to be the Switch with a better processor, maybe a nicer screen.
Probably.
That's the problem with Nintendo. They've been doing this since they were a thing. They regurgitate stuff in different ways over and over again.
I feel like Nintendo ever since ever since Nintendo was a thing, they've innovated their console with some sort of different thing. Like, the NES and Super NES are basically one and the same, except you go from 8-bit to 16-bit. But when it came to the N64, it had, the weird oblong controller.
Right.
Then, from the N64 to the GameCube was this, weird little box with a little handle that you could, take with these tiny little discs. And then you had the Wii, which was, motion controls. And then you go to the Wii U that had the gamepad with a screen that you could play, and you could turn off your TV and you could play with the gamepad.
Right.
And then from the Wii U you go to the Switch. And the Switch was basically what the Wii U should have been.
The Switch was the Wii U without the console.
Exactly.
Right. So, I mean, there's evolution, yes, but
there's always
there's
been
also regurgitation.
When it comes to that, yeah, but like ever since the N64, they've done something that was like testing out to see what it was like.
Yeah, I mean, they took a chance on GameCube, and that was a horrible idea, but
I loved the GameCube.
Well, that's because you're a bro. Do you have Birkenstock sandals?
No.
And a baseball cap with a pre-frayed brim? I'm not going to go to the other piece.
Wait, with the
big black...
A what brim?
Pre-frayed.
Pre-frayed brim?
Pre-frayed brim.
No.
Okay.
What's the other part?
I'm not going there. We're live. If you guys look up, I forget who did it, but I'm pretty sure a quick Google search or YouTube search for Bro GameCube Natty Ice will get you there.
I loved the GameCube. I had that. I played that more than I did my PS2 at the time.
So how many different ways can you spin Mario before it's like, dude? Because I feel like we're getting close.
Maybe. Wonder definitely gave Mario a new type of spin. I really enjoyed that. It gave it like a refreshing take, but that's a topic for another time. So within this console in the cloud talk, the pay-as-you-play model, do you think that will ever be a thing where you do? Like where you pay for the amount of time that you play?
Dude, software as a service. Right now it's by month.
How?
All they have to do is say, we want to make this more granular.
So
you're going to pay by the hour, by the day. It's like a rental.
How much would it be per hour to where it would be like an acceptable cost? Well, it would have to be super cheap.
You figure, I think of it in a sense of how many hours a day can you really play a game? I think I could, like if I had nothing else to do and I wasn't a dad, 6 hours would probably be it for me at this age.
Probably. If I didn't have like a life to commit to, I think maybe, yeah, like 6 hours.
Or we'll even skip that. Take how long it takes to complete a game.
Which nowadays it's so all over the board. You've got 40-hour games, you've got 60-hour games, you've got 100-hour games.
Right, so there's not going to be one price.
Yeah.
If the game takes 60 hours to beat, your standard price point for a game is $59.99. We'll say $60. Divide your price point by how long you have to play it. Charge $1 an hour. And then you reach that price point if they beat it in the allotted time that you expected. If it takes them longer, they want to play it longer, they pay more. And if they give up or beat it quicker, they pay less.
So what happens then with like replayability? Then
you want to play it again, pay for it some more.
Yikes! That's a dangerous model to go for.
That's software as a service, baby. We just talked about how Pro Tools went from $100 to $1,500, and like we didn't even see it because people don't realize that. You see, that's why they do things monthly instead of going to that granular level. Because Netflix, if they charge you $22 monthly for their top tier, which it might be 20,
close.
It's 23 now. Most people aren't looking that closely to see that charge on their bank account and say, hold up, wait a minute, I watch Netflix maybe 4 days out of the month. Why am I paying 20? Like I'm paying pretty much $8 every time I watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And then they forget about it and it's still going.
These slow incremental price differences in like Hulu and Netflix and Disney Plus, like these little price hikes, even with YouTube Premium, like you have these little incremental price hikes that happen, every year, every 6 months or whatever. And like, when does it get to a point where you're like, okay, like, no, I'm not paying that.
You usually don't even know about it.
Half the time, yeah, you get the email and you're just like, I don't care, and you just delete it without even reading what's in it.
Exactly.
And then you don't even look at the charge for, whatever you're paying, which is is a problem for sure. I'm guilty of that by all means.
Apparently, you're a good 8 hours.
Depends on the game.
I know what game we're playing.
What?
Probably Duck Hunt. Which
Dude.
is the one freaking thing that Nintendo never regurgitated, and they should have.
I'm telling you, if they did Duck Hunt but as a big Buck Hunter cabinet, I would buy it so fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would buy it so fast. That is one thing. Do you think I could fit a big Buck Hunter cabinet down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have to move the Ninja Turtles game, maybe.
We'd figure
or
it.
you, but
We'd figure it out.
shit, sell it and get the Buck Hunter cabinet.
Whoa, whoa!
Well,
Let's settle down here.
Just saying.
We ain't doing that.
Where were we?
Pay as you play.
Right. Yeah, it sucks. I hate it. I hate that idea. I hate software as a service. I think
you should always have, like, even if you had to pay half of a yearly cost subscription to then buy it. Like, if you're spending, say you spend $1,500 on the Pro Tools, it's Avid now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you spent $1,500 for, a year's membership, like, if they were like, but you can buy it if you want to pay $600, why not just give that as an option?
For the simple fact that you don't want them to be able to have that forever
but
without paying for it.
How many people can actually just spew off $600 on a program now?
I mean, it depends. If you're a big studio in Hollywood, probably not. Like, it's not a problem. But for smaller guys like us, it is.
Exactly.
The thing is that it's what's called the software development life cycle. In this sense, and that's kind of an antiquated term because nobody really uses it anymore. But it's the whole idea of you have to go through the development stage of, understanding what you need to build and then building it and then testing it. And after you release it, all of these companies are still working on a game for years after it's already being played. Granted, not to the level that, they were when they were developing it. Like, you might have a team of 40 or 50 people on it then, and then your post-production team might be 5 or 10 people, but there's constantly these issues that didn't come out in testing. There's, maybe some new features you want to introduce. So they're still paying all these people after the fact.
Yeah.
And, when you have a one-time, okay, here's your game, that's great. It's income. But if you can make that income perpetuate or residual in a sense, it makes it a lot more palatable to pay 5 or 10 developers over the course of 7 years.
Yeah.
When you know that during those 7 years, your sales are going, from here down to here, and the price is doing that too. So,
yeah, because that's a big thing, I guess, with games is, for a game store to carry these new releases for PS5 and Xbox One, you're paying a premium and you're only making like $5 to $10 per game selling it in your store, but you have to sell it immediately. If you have dead stock of that game and it sits in your store for 3 months, then you have just dead stock and you've lost so much money because depending on the game, especially in like the PS4 stuff, like a game comes out $60 and then in 6 months it's $20.
right.
And you can't recover that cost.
Well, and let's also look at games from a content nature when we're thinking about that. What games typically have the best sales?
There's a couple things. I mean, you've got the massive multiplayer games that people love, like the Call of Duties. You've got the Soulsborne genre games that people want to play because that's just their thing. They're into the streamer culture and stuff. And then you've got like a lot of games that have multiplayer that are like anticipated multiplayer games.
What about license?
Or just ones that like strike gold, like Helldivers 2.
What about licensed games?
Licensed
like
games?
The Harry Potter game, like Hogwarts
like
Legacy.
Licensed games, yeah.
Yeah,
That was like an anticipated game.
Stuff that's built off pop culture. There's a licensing fee for that. So
yeah.
That's another expense that's not realized. And you stop and think of how many games it's a cutthroat industry, man. I would not be interested.
Yeah, it gets tough, especially for the developers and the studios that do these types of games to get these games to like really pop off, because the life cycle of games now is so short.
Yeah.
It's so short.
Now, a model I do like, I know you hate this game, Fortnite, totally free to download and play. All of the stuff you pay for is content within the game. Skins, all the different stuff like that. And then, they're not are they V-Bucks in Fortnite?
You're asking.
Yeah, they're V-Bucks in Fortnite. So you pay for V-Bucks, you use your V-Bucks to buy stuff. They're raking it in.
Yeah, they are the ones that have done the live service very, very well. But there are people that really screw up that live service. Like Call of Duty, for example. It's not a live service game, but I've been preaching this from the rooftops forever, since I was working with my brother-in-law and we were talking about like Call of Duty and stuff. So you have like these releases: Modern Warfare, Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 3. You've had these like big AAA releases, and it's a brand new Call of Duty. And if it tanks, the player count drops dramatically.
Pause.
Because they just jump to the next FPS game.
Pause. I don't think there's been a brand new Call of Duty since Call of Duty Modern Warfare, because it's all just been like the same structure
Exactly.
over and over again.
My point is,
people love it.
If they would just take Call of Duty as a game, just a first-person shooter game as it is now, if you just took that game, made it a live service like Fortnite, where you can download it for free and you can play straight from the jump.
Isn't that what World at War is?
No.
Oh.
So if you took Call of Duty, just made it a live service, no money to download it,
I would have said.
but all of the operators that are like famously loved, like Ghost, Soap, all of those characters from Call of Duty's history, you made those downloadable operators that you
Soap's
can get.
$25.
Games, guns. You've got all of the guns over the Call of Duty's history. You've got the Intervention, you've got the FAMAS, you've got the ACR,
Barrett 50 cal.
you've got the 50 cal. There's so many of these.
That bank account would make me sick.
So you have like these skins for these weapons, or these weapons that you can download. Then think about if you could download these maps, Rust,
and the old maps,
like Favola,
man.
like
Infinity Ward. Are you listening?
So if you
come on, guys, you're listening out.
If you did these map packs and you made it to where it's a cost that people are just like, absolutely. If you give them a bone every now and then, where they're like, hey, here's 2 new maps for free or whatever, or 2 maps brand new maps. Here you go. These are for free. And you can download, remastered versions of maps from World at War or Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 4 or what have you. You know how much money they would make?
That's what I just said. The bank account would literally make me so sick I would puke. Infinity Ward needs to hear that and get on it.
Why are they not doing that?
Well,
instead of spending all of this time developing a new game, work on having it as a a free to play service.
Yep.
With DLC that you can buy.
So,
I hate the model. Don't get me wrong. I hate that model, but for certain things it just makes sense.
Here's the other thing that helps Epic, and most of you hopefully know this, some of you may not. Epic actually develops the Unreal Engine.
Yes.
And it's my understanding that the use or the terms of use for that, they actually allow people to use that for free unless they're selling a product with it.
So there was a bit of a blow up with the Unreal Engine because they were going to try and move to, I think, they wanted a percentage of the sales of your game.
Right.
But the percentage was like insane,
exorbitant.
It was a wild percentage.
Well, I mean,
where developers were like, We can't swing that.
What do you have without the engine?
That's very true. But then, like, there was all the backlash that came from it. Like, they ended up, like, reverting back to change the terms, and I think they came to, like, a suitable agreement now. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about it as of recent. But that was a big thing. But, like, the subscription service and stuff, we'll get off this subject now before we run it into the ground. But
Too late.
But, yeah, like...
LJ.
Paid it, like... I understand the free-to-play model, and, like, there are some games that do it very well. It's, you know, but in terms of, like, these single-player games and stuff like that, like, I think that you just have to buy it once, and then I can play it as much as I want. I'm not going to pay to play a game. That's just insane.
Is your face a wrench?
I think you said this in one of the episodes.
Because every time I see it, my nuts tighten up.
You did say, yeah.
So now it's live.
We did the NES.
We're doing this.
We are. So this is going to be a dumbed down version of it.
Oh man.
So we did the NES version of this. Now we're going to jump to the Super Nintendo, baby. I'm going to be honest. A good chunk of these games I haven't played.
First off, I'm not going to blow it.
So I did the same thing. I took two top 5 lists. I took Nintendo Life because I appreciate Nintendo Life, and I took IGN's list.
You're starting from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So IGN's list has a link as the number one for the Super Nintendo game. The number one game is Zelda: Link to the Past.
I thought we were going from the bottom, 5 up.
Oh well, no.
Well, it's number 1 on both lists.
Number 1 on both lists is Link to the Past,
and it shouldn't be because that game pissed me off so bad when I was a kid.
So this is actually I played this game when I was a kid, but not in a meaningful way. I didn't play it like I didn't beat it. I didn't, play a ton of it. My main Zelda game when I was a kid was the one on the NES and Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. Those were my two mainstay Zelda games.
Do you remember the guy that was playing Call of Duty? It was like spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. That was me with Link. I just trauma.
This game has been on my list to go back and revisit because I played Link Between Worlds on what? What are you looking at?
What's up with the 2 and 5? How is it that far apart? That's like a
Oh yeah.
5.
There's some differences in these lists. This game has been on my list to go back and revisit because I
what, Link?
Yeah, Link to the Past. Because my favorite Zelda game of all time is A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS.
The only way you're allowed to play that ever again is if you actually buy an ocarina off Amazon right now.
Like an actual ocarina?
An ocarina. The Ocarina of Time. Like one we can play next week on the show.
Oh, okay.
No, you got your phone right there.
So, for that, it's not my number 1 pick, definitely. Definitely not my number 1 pick.
No.
Number 2 for the Nintendo Life has Super Mario World. And number 2 for the IGN list has Chrono Trigger. My personal list, Mario World is number 1.
No.
Here you go again. Here you go again with this. You are full of surprises here.
Mario Paint. I had more fun with Mario Paint as a kid, being a kid with an NES or an SNES, the Super frickin' Nintendo. Yeah, Mario Paint was awesome. It was so cool. It came with the mouse and the little mouse, the hard mouse pad.
There's no denying
brilliant.
Mario Paint was cool, but it definitely doesn't belong on the top 5.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Mario Paint.
No. Mario World is definitely my top number 1.
Mario World's better than Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
Chrono Trigger's good though.
Yeah. Chrono Trigger, I think, probably is number 2 because for my list, it's number 2 because I played the ever-living shite.
Fine, if not Mario Paint, then
Chrono
F-Zero.
Trigger. That's a good one. That's a good choice. Number 3 for the Nintendo Life is Chrono Trigger, and number 3 for IGN is Super Metroid. Now, I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble. I never played Super Metroid. The only Metroid game that I played is Metroid Dread. And playing Metroid Dread makes me want to go back and play Super Metroid. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, world. I've never played Super Metroid.
Dude. You just shattered our credibility. Nobody is going to believe this is a game channel anymore. You hasn't played Super Metroid? What kind of...
I don't... as a kid, it was just like I had the games that I played. I had Mario World, I had Link to the Past, I had Chrono Trigger, and like I played Chrono Trigger a lot. I vividly remember playing it on a TV like this, on this exact entertainment stand right here. I remember the little pendulum going back and forth and all of that. So I can't put Super Metroid in the top 5. I think it probably belongs in the top 5.
Well, we'll wait to find out.
List.
We'll wait to find out. Go get it. Go back. Just press play. Give that lion sack of shit some more money. Dishonest, deceitful piece of...
So number 4 on the Nintendo Life is Super Metroid. Number 4 on the IGN list is...
I don't understand this at all.
Final Fantasy... Did I write that wrong? Did I mean to put Final Fantasy 3?
I don't know. I mean, that's like 3 of them could...
I think I meant to put Final Fantasy 3.
I'll check.
Because Final Fantasy 6, was that on the Super Nintendo? I don't think that was on the Super Nintendo.
That's
Actually,
what I'm trying to figure out.
Maybe it was on the Super Nintendo.
They were churning them out, so...
I might have meant to put 3.
I think... Yep, it is.
It is 3?
No, it's 6.
It is 6.
They both...
What? Wow.
I believe.
Interesting.
Yep, this was on Super Nintendo.
Okay, so...
Also known as Final Fantasy 3.
Oh, yeah, because they numbered them different in Japan. That's right.
So it's the same damn game.
So it's Final Fantasy 3.
That's...
It's... Okay.
Well, they're both better than Final Fantasy 8 the Ocho.
Some people... is it 8 or is it 9 that people really... that, like, everybody loves? I think it might be 9.
Okay, I didn't say this when we did the review of it. I don't play Final Fantasy. Nope. Not me. Bye.
They're not for everybody.
In the trash.
I can
trash.
I can let that... I wouldn't say it's trash.
It's trash.
That's a little aggressive.
Interactive anime.
No. Definitely not. Then the Nintendo Life number 5, they have Final Fantasy 3, and for IGN they have Super Mario World. How that is number 5 on the IGN list is shocking.
They're literally the same list, except Nintendo Life put Super Mario World in second.
Okay, so it's
and
all
then
the same
they just
5
pulled
games.
it down. It's literally the same order too: Chrono Trigger, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy, and then Zelda's at the top.
Okay, yeah. So for my list, I would put Mario World as number 1. I would put Chrono Trigger as number 2. I think Link to the Past probably has its spot in there. Like I said, I don't have nostalgia for it, but I recognize a good Zelda game when I see one, and this definitely holds number 3. I can't say anything for Super Metroid because I don't have much experience with that game at all, so I am not inclined to put it on my top 5. Same with Final Fantasy 3. I didn't play that. I played the first Final Fantasy. I've played, Final Fantasy 7. I've played Final Fantasy 9. I've played Final Fantasy 15,
We're gonna be
12,
here
and
if
10.
Keep going through all that.
I'm not talking about all of them, but for my number 4 spot, it's not a Super Nintendo exclusive.
It doesn't have to be an exclusive.
Turtles in Time.
Dude, no.
Quit. Who are you?
Turtles in Time is cool, but not 4.
100. Oh my.
It's a mash buttons game.
It's fantastic.
There are so many other mash buttons games that I would put in its place.
Oh.
Super Return of the Jedi. Super Empire Strikes Back.
I haven't played those games in so
Home Alone
long.
2.
I don't think I've ever played that.
What?
I have never played Home Alone on the Super Nintendo.
What was the one Disney game? Magic Kingdom? No, not Magic Kingdom. Kingdom Hearts.
That was on PlayStation 2.
No, there was one for
No, there wasn't.
there was a Disney game for Super Nintendo.
There was many Disney games. There was The Lion King.
Well, The
there was
Lion
Aladdin.
King. Dude, they had Aladdin.
Yeah.
I'm literally shaking.
Oh my God, Andy.
They had Aladdin for Super Nintendo.
Who are you?
I can show you though.
Oh my God, Andy.
Shine,
We need to have a moment where I just sit you down and just show you the world,
Dude,
shining, shimmering, splendid.
I had a fuck ton of Super Nintendo games. Like I'm not kidding you when I say it was a 4-foot cabinet drawer full.
See, I never had that many games for my systems, especially these early systems. But
The Magical Quest.
okay,
That's
yeah,
why
now
I thought
know.
it was Kingdom Hearts. But
I was gonna say it's definitely not Kingdom Hearts. So
they had Goof Troop.
where have you been? Have you been under a rock? You need to get back into this gaming culture here, Andy. You've been away far too long,
Dude, I'm not gonna get a Super Nintendo again. It's like we discussed this. I can't do it. I can't do the retro. Yay!
But you can, Andy.
I don't know, for $27.99,
But
I
you-
remember begging for the Magical Quest in, where was it? KB Toys.
Oh, KB Toys.
Shit, what did I? There's Aladdin. Holy shit, it actually exists.
You can even play it on the Switch.
They have Pinocchio.
I didn't know they had a Pinocchio. Okay, now you're
The Jungle Book.
okay. Put that away. You're
Toy Story.
You're distracting.
Dude, literally every Disney game.
You've never played the Toy Story game?
No.
What? Oh my God! Have you played The Lion King?
Yeah, that was the hardest game ever
Okay.
made.
You've redeemed yourself a little bit.
Roller Coaster Tycoon was a PC game, and yes, I spent a shit ton of time
They
playing
had
that.
SimCity on the Super Nintendo. SimCity.
Oh, that's awful.
2000.
That's why would they make it 2000?
I don't know why they would make it 2000. I think it was like a future thing. I don't know. Back to
Hi, Lydia.
the topic at hand.
Hey, he says fire up the asteroids.
I don't have asteroids.
You don't have I have hemorrhoids. Cancel culture just turned this shit off. Yo, we're going live every time now. This is great.
Oh my God. Back to the topic at hand. Number 1 is Super Mario World. Number 2 is Chrono Trigger. Number 3 is Link to the Past. Number 4 is Turtles in Time. Number 5. Oh man. I think number 5, even though I don't have all the nostalgia for it, I think Contra 3, the Alien Wars.
Contra 3 on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
So, Contra's on my top 5, definitely. I can't sit here and rank them. I mean...
You don't have a lot of memory for the Super Nintendo, do you?
No, that's the thing. I have a ton.
So, I mean, Yoshi's Island was on the Super Nintendo. That was
That was pretty good.
a good one.
I'm fairly certain the Super Nintendo era is when my brain figured out what dissociation was. So, it was just like, yeah, we're not going to remember any of this, but,
Yeah.
unlocking memories left and right these days. Lemmings!
Was that on Super Nintendo?
Yes. The one where you had all the little dudes and like they could build bridges, or they could like dig, or oh shit! Now, I'm back on my phone now. We got
I don't remember Lemmings. I know Lemmings was a Atari game.
Your wife just said Hemis. I don't know what that means.
That's
but
a little slang for hemorrhoids.
oh.
Goddamn Hemis. Oh my god. Okay, now I know what you mean. Yep, I know what you mean. Yep. Yeah, I know where you're at now.
The little dudes with the green hair that love to kill themselves.
I mean, you had Star Fox. I think that
Star Fox.
that deserves a little honorable mention for the top 5.
Well, and we already talked about F-Zero.
F-Zero, yeah. There's a lot of good Super Nintendo games out there.
Oh yeah, they killed it with that. I mean,
I think that's probably a lot of people's favorite console, or at least like close.
Do you want to read that last comment?
Fun fact: I had Kingdom Hearts for PS2. Wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't big on Kingdom Hearts either. I tried it again down the line, and I couldn't get into it. But I mean, it's something that I wouldn't mind trying to go back to, because I mean it blends Disney and Final Fantasy, like the classic Disney, like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald, Goofy.
All right, let's
like
pivot
that.
for a second. Squirrel moment. What's your favorite Mickey Mouse?
My favorite Mickey Mouse, like iteration of Mickey Mouse?
No. Like, is it Mickey in the wizard outfit? Or is it Mickey in the new horror flick?
The non-Disney
thing.
The Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Mickey in the wizard outfit.
I love that.
Dude, have you ever seen the movie Noobs?
No.
Oh my god, I'm gonna pivot here real quick. It's a movie about a group of gamers. So Jason Mewes is in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Jason Mewes. He's like they're playing Gears of War. They're like a competitive Gears of War team, and I don't think they've ever met each other, and they're supposed to go to this tournament, and they're supposed to pick each other up and meet for the first time. And there's I think the guy's name's Blake. He's the director of the movie. He's in it. There's this dude that like pretends that he's not gay, but he like
knew it.
Makes all of these things. Like he'll come out in like lipstick, and they're like,
nope.
they're like, are you wearing lipstick? He's like, what? No.
You wearing lipstick, man?
And he like
no,
rubs
I'm
it
not wearing
off.
lipstick. You're wearing lipstick.
But they go to this strip club in the movie. It's the gay dude and
plot twist.
And there's like a younger kid that like has
okay, I'm a little concerned where this is going.
Has
now.
Oxygen, and one of the songs that plays, it's just like, you want my wizard sleeve, you gotta say pretty please.
My wizard sleeve, you must say pretty please. I'm down on my knees, giving up, rubbing and squeeze.
Dude.
Oh,
it's
my
so, and like
gosh.
the kid's getting a lap dance from like this real big girl, and she sits down on him and pinches his oxygen tank.
Right in the crack, right in the crack, girl. Get it, get it, get it. Who's the boss? Who's the boss?
And he's like signaling to his buddy like, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And the gay dude has these dollar bills. He's just like, he's like tossing me. He's like, yeah, you're getting it. I see you.
Go ahead, give me the love. Oh, give me the love. Oh, I know, I see you. Hi. Yeah. What? Boobies? All up in your mouth.
I see you. And he's like signaling like, I can't breathe. Like I really can't breathe. And he's like, I know, you're having a good time. Here you go. Here you go. And then the girl like gets down, and the gay dude takes the dollar bill, and he's like, oh yeah, right in the crack. Just like blows the dollar bill. I'll have to see if it's on like a streaming service. So dude, it is so funny. It does not get the praise that it deserves because it is comedy at its finest.
Just gonna build off that for a second. My buddy told me about a time he went to Flint's Hustler Club, and this chick walked up to him, a dancer, and she looks at him, takes a big drag off of a cigarette, and apparently they're not supposed to smoke in there, but well, she was. And in the most raspy, low, like you're definitely gonna have COPD voice. Hey, honey. I can make a clap for you for $20. I would be no good. Like, I would just be like,
nope. Signing out later. I think. Do we have any topics left?
I mean, I could sit here all night and talk about something, but I don't even see a timer. That's the one thing this is missing. I don't know,
Oh yeah, I guess we don't have a. It doesn't say a timer.
I mean, it's 8:50. You want to just go till 9 and.
Yeah. So here, I'll show a pickup that I got to see.
A what?
A pickup.
Oh.
So. All right. So Just Press Play, one of the locations in Lancaster, is closing. So I went in there and looked at what they had left because I was waiting to like the big percents off. So it's 60% off.
You got that 60% off?
Yes. So
you didn't mention that earlier.
Yes. So this is the Ocarina of Time Player's Choice version. Let me look it up in price charting here.
Let me see that quick.
Hold on. It doesn't. There's a reasoning behind this here.
I want to check the UPC.
Hold on. Okay, so the Ocarina of Time Player's Choice CIB is $140.
Okay.
Okay. So this condition is rough. It's rough condition. So I asked to see it. They gave it to me, and I was looking at it. I was like, man.
Rough for you or rough for them?
It's rough for anybody who's a collector. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
need to reevaluate your standards. That don't look rough to me.
Once you look at it, it's right. It's like waterlogged.
Oh.
It's waterlogged. It's got some chipping and stuff. Like, it's in rough shape.
We'll give it here and let me take a look.
Just let me tell the story, Andy.
Damn it.
Jeez. So I have it in my hands, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right, like it's the Player's Choice version. That doesn't bother me. This bothers me here. You see that white? Like the coloring came off there.
Yeah.
So like the waterlogging, I can kind of get over. It doesn't bother me much.
Really?
There's some creasing in it, and like it's definitely rough shape. So I'll hold it up here for anybody that's in here so that you can see. So like,
what the hey?
what in the world's going on there? Why do we have a split?
That's
So it's got like that is so weird. Why is it like that? Why is that like that? Interesting.
Look, it even cuts off your.
Yeah, I don't know why is it split like that?
Oh, that's wild.
That's weird. I don't know why that's like that. We'll have to look into that. So with the 60% off, I got it for $80. So, $80 for CIB Ocarina of Time, not bad. So loose the game is around $40. So if you were getting just the cart, I would have been spending, $40 probably for a loose cart. 45 maybe if it's like a good condition. The cart's in good shape. The pamphlet's definitely in rough shape. But I was holding in my hand, what? For $80 for a CIB Ocarina of Time, yeah, it's in rough shape, but I think I can live with it. Here, you can take a closer look at it.
That's all I wanted to do. 1998 to 1999 Game of the Year. So I mean, I got to be honest with you. Like $80, I think is a good grab for that. I'm not even talking to the damn mic anymore. My concern would be the water damage. And I understand it's a cartridge, so it's not like it's a powered device.
The cartridge is fine. I took the cartridge out and looked at it, and the cartridge is in great shape.
Yeah, so I mean, worst case scenario, you paid $40 extra for a cartridge.
Yeah, I mean,
and got a box.
The box is intact. It's it's in rough shape, but I'm happy with the purchase because now I can have a nice little Ocarina of Time displayed here.
Reasonably speaking, do you think you could get 80 out of it?
To the right person, maybe.
Okay. There you go.
But the person that's going to be buying that would probably be, pretty picky. Because, I mean, to collect N64 CIB, I mean, I'd be fine collecting N64. Andy's camera is stuck repeating.
Yeah, I'm just shaking my leg.
What is going on here?
So the interesting thing is that I'm actually not on a separate camera. So if anybody wants to offer their expertise on why the GoPro has decided to split everything down the middle.
Yeah, that's a...
reach into me. Come into the abyss. You can disappear. I love it.
That is strange. I wonder how long it's been that way. It hasn't been that way for that long, maybe.
Whatever. At least, dude, it's fine. Look at me.
I'm
normal. I'm just tapping my foot, arm out.
Issues and all.
Talking.
It's our first live stream. We'll get it figured out here.
We need a spittoon.
Ding. Yeah, our first live stream. It's gonna be technical difficulties.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Normal? Question mark. What do you mean by normal?
Sausages.
Is it look normal on the stream?
20+ minutes. Wow.
20+ minutes for what?
I've been stuck.
Really?
We'll figure it out. It's almost over.
Yeah. Alicia says normal, but what do you...
Oh.
Dueling band.
I said I looked normal.
Andy said he was normal, and I was questioning that.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, no, I'm not. We all know I'm not normal.
That's very true.
We're going to have to figure out next week.
What do you mean?
I am... Oh, I'll be back Wednesday night, so...
Okay. What, are you going on a trip?
No, I'm just out of town for work.
What a loser.
Yeah, well...
Well, you'll be back Wednesday night to... And he's been stuck for a while. Oh, well, that's great.
I've been stuck for a while in more than one way.
All right. Well, we'll have to figure out, how much we can salvage from this stream.
You can salvage it all. Just post it. Whatever. It's first.
Well, depending on what it is, I'll figure some stuff out, maybe.
I mean, I'm not going to do anything crazy while I'm stuck, but I might lick a window or two.
That's normal for you.
Yeah. Something about that glass. It's so smooth.
Just has that nice little taste to it.
Cold's like refreshing like water.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to smooth this out. We'll do some more research and testing and whatnot and figure out why the GoPro decided to put an endless void that I can just reach my hand into. But
So I'm thinking have you seen those reels where they have the UK folks doing like dad jokes and stuff like that, and like it's like you laugh, you drink.
maybe. Yes. Well, I haven't seen the dad jokes you drink. I've seen the ones where they say the dad jokes and they have water in their mouth.
Yeah. Why did the man want his ashes put in the salsa?
I don't know.
Because he wanted to tear his wife's ass up one last time.
That's a good one.
We're Dad's Game Room.
We're Dad's Game Room. We will see you next time. We'll be dropping the video the same time. The same times as we always do.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
And I'll still be stuck.
Yeah, and there'll still be this weird little void here in the middle. It's the upside down. We're in the upside down.
They have no clue.
We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for our first live stream, and sorry for all the
I'm bowing, but you can't see it.
the difficulties we've had. We'll figure it
Well, I
out.
could do anything.
I
Wait,
promise.
hold on. I know.